Welcome, this is your teacher David Garcia, and today we will continue working with the topic of the parabola. And in this last video, we will see the last variation in which we will have to write the vertex form of the equation of the parabola when the orientation of the parabola is given along with 3 points. So what we know about this parabola is that it is a vertical parabola. Now, we don't know if it opens up or down, but that doesn't really matter. And then they give us 3 points. They tell us that the parabola passes through 4, -10. That's 1 point. It passes through 5, -24. And the third point is -3, -24. Now, the idea in here is to use these 3 points in our equation. In this case, if it's vertical, we have that y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So we're going to substitute each one of these values for these 3 points, and we are going to generate 3 equations with 1, 2, and 3 variables. And from there, we're just going to solve it via elimination, probably the easiest method. So let's begin. Let's do our first equation. We are going to use this point. So we have that -10 equals a times x, which will be 4, minus h squared plus k. If you see, what I just did was substituting the value for this point here and this value of the point right here, which are the x and the y. So now I'm going to repeat the same, but now I'm going to do it for point number 2. So it'll be -24 equals a, that multiplies 5 minus h squared plus k. I do the same for, the third point, this one here. So I will have -24 equals a times -3 minus h squared plus k. Now that I have my 3 equations, let me move this one right here and this one right here. Now that I have my 3 equations, I am going to develop them. I want to have all my variables developed so I can work through the process of elimination later on. So let's begin. I have -10 equals a, that multiplies 16 minus 8h plus h squared plus k. What I just did was expand this binomial squared. This binomial that I have here is this trinomial that I have here now. They are exactly the same. So now I will apply the distributive property. So I will have 8 times 16, 16a, minus 8ah plus ah squared plus k. Again, what I just did is apply the distributive property and multiply this a into the parentheses. So I multiply it times the three terms. Okay, so from here, I can just rearrange it. So I will have AH squared minus 8AH plus 16A plus K equals negative 10. There you go. I have my first one. So now I'm going to do exactly the same thing for my second equation. So negative 24 equals A times 55 minus 10h plus h squared plus k. 24 equals 25a minus 10ah plus ah squared plus k. So final rearrangement, have ah squared minus 10ah plus 25a plus k equals negative 24. And now I'm going to do the same thing, but for this equation right here. So negative 24 equals 8 times 9 plus 6h plus h squared plus k. Distributive, negative 24 equals 9a plus 6ah plus ah squared plus k. Final rearrangement, ah squared plus 6ah plus 9a plus k equals negative 24. So now I have my three equations, all right? Equation number 1, equation number 2, and equation number 3. So I will start making combinations with them. Okay, I will combine equation 1 and equation 2. So okay, just copy them. Right, I have this equation right here and this equation right here. I'm going to start by combining equations 1 and 2. Now, if you see, I have these terms alike. So I will just subtract them and come up with a new equation. I am going to subtract the second equation from my first equation. And that automatically cancels this term. So I have now negative 8 minus negative 10. I will end up with twice AH. Then 16 minus 25 will be negative 9a. The case, if you see, they get canceled. And then this will be equal to negative 10 minus negative 24. will be positive 14. So I have my first equation. This equation comes from combining equation number 1, so to speak, and equation number 2. So now I'm going to do the same. But now I am going to use equation number 2 and equation number 3. So let me just copy this equation again. Sorry about that. There we go. And this equation right here. Right. So let's do this. There we go. The idea is basically the same. I will subtract them. And in this way, I will start getting rid of different terms. So for example, in here, the first term gets canceled. Do it in this way, looks better. Then I have 6 minus negative 10. This will be 16 AH. Then I have 9 minus 25A. 9A minus 25A will be negative 16A. Then the K gets canceled again. And then I have negative 24 minus negative 24. This gets canceled as well, and we have this equals 0. This equation came from combining equation number 2 and equation number 3. So now if you see, I have 2 equations with the same terms. I have the AH term and the A standing alone term, and I have exactly the same terms here and here. So now I can combine them. We'll have this equation right here and this equation right here. Now, 16 is a multiple of 2. So if I multiply this equation right here times negative 8, it will be very easy to cancel the first term. And I mean, you can do it in different ways, but I think this is way easier. So let's rewrite it. I will have negative 16 AH plus 72A. And this will be equal to negative 112. Now I can do the addition. This term will be canceled. And then 72 minus 16 will be 56. 56A, and this will equal negative 112. So A will be negative 112 divided by 56, and this will be 2, negative 2. So I have my first piece of information. I have that A equals 2. So now I can select, I can start going back, and I can select either of the equations to substitute A. And in this case, if you see, this one looks easier. All right, we have a 0 in here, so we can work with that one. So This is the equation that we will be working with. So let's substitute 16 times negative 2h minus 16 times negative 2, and this will equal 0. I have negative 32h plus 32 will equal 0. And it is very obvious now that h will be 1. Negative 32 divided by negative 32, h is 1. So now I have the value of a and the value of h. So now I can go back to one of the original 3 equations. And at this point, it doesn't really matter if I choose equation number 1, equation number 2, or equation number 3. It'll be exactly the same. So let me take equation number 1. I have a copy. And now I'm going to substitute the values for a and h, right? Negative 2 and 1 in here. So a is negative 2 times h, which is 1 squared, minus 8 times negative 2 times 1, plus 16 times negative 2 plus k equals negative 10. So this becomes negative 2 plus 16 minus 32 plus k equals negative 10. So now I'll just do it in one operation. Okay, the negative 2 will go to the other side adding, 16 will go subtracting, and the 32 will go adding. It's very straightforward in here. So from here is just a matter of doing the operation. This will be negative 8, negative 16, negative 24 plus 32 will be 8. So k is 8. Now you see, I have my 3 values. I have the value for k, I have the value for a, and I have the value for h. So if you remember, we said that the vertical parabola will have to have this equation. And right now I have the value for a, h, and k. So it's just a matter of substituting the values into this equation, and we will be done. Right here. So it will be a, that is negative 2, times x minus h. H is, we have it over here, 1. This will be squared, and k will be 8. And this is our final answer. That's it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in our next video.